Hello everyone, this is Paushta Fashion Workshop. Today we continue working with the pattern for the dress. Let's get back to the front detail. I need to measure the distance between the dart top and the center front and divide it in half. There is about 10 centimeters here, so the half of the measurement is 5 centimeters. This seam should be biased. I want to end it not in the tuck, but 1 centimeter further. This is where the end of the tuck is, and this is where I drew the mark. This is the point 5. I need to connect it with this point with a straight line. I'm drawing everything with a pencil. Next, I need to decide where to place the waist tuck. This is a princess seam, so I think that there is no need to move the full tuck open into it. The opening of the waist tuck is 3 centimeters wide. It's too big. I'll make it 2.5 centimeters wide. I'd better move a part of the opening to the center front seam. I'm moving the 2.5 centimeter wide opening to the seam. Watch what I'm doing next. I want the tuck to start not in the very end of the seam, but a couple of centimeters higher. It would be much easier to draw the angle here in this case. Next, I need to draw a line from this point to the side seam. You can draw this line however you want. I want it to look this way. Next, I need to outline the drawn details with a marker pen. The bias seam here, the tuck, I've drawn the lines with the ruler. When taking and stitching them, make them more smooth. Your parents didn't use a ruler when making you. I can start cutting this detail now. I remind you that this is where I've moved the waist tuck. This is the detail which I'm talking about. This detail isn't ready yet. I'm going to make it later. Do not forget to sign the center front. It's also important to sign where there will be a seam or a fold here. I remind you that I'm showing you how to make a dress which design was suggested by one of my subscribers. The techniques which I'm showing you in these tutorials are pretty useful. Let's have a look at what we got. This is where the chest dart is now. This is the checkpoint. It should be signed. It should have actually been done much earlier. Sign the checkpoints right after moving and cutting the chest dart. It's very important for the checkpoints to match. Have a look here. These are also the checkpoints. They should match as well. We're going to stitch the tuck first, and then the chest dart. I remind you that this part should be cut on a bias. What should we do in order for it to be true? Nothing. I just need to sign that this is also the center front and that it should be cut on the grain. Have a look here. When I place this detail on the grain, this part is placed in the bias. I hope that everything is clear so far. The angle should match as well as these details. I'm not going to sign them. In order for this detail to be cut in the bias, I just need to place this detail on the grain. I also need to sign that there will be a fold here. Be very attentive. I remind you that there will be no seam on the center front in the upper detail. The front is ready. Let's get back to working with the sleeves. I remind you that there should be the bias seams in them. There is nothing else I need to change in the back, just the raglan details. Let's have a look at the details once again. There will be a fold on the center front in this detail. It should be cut on the grain. And there will be a seam in the lower detail of the front. The design is pretty complicated. I like it. I like it when drawing a pattern requires some thinking. Let's have a look at the sleeve pattern once again. I'm looking at the original picture to see where the seam should be placed. This is how the seam is going to look like. The pattern should be cut according to these lines. I'm not going to add anything for the draping. The sleeves in the dress are straight, and they are gathered with the straps. Do not forget to sign these details after cutting. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to make accurate sleeves. Do not forget to sign everything. This is very important. I can move the sleeve details aside. The back, the lower detail at the front, there will be a seam on the center front here. This is the upper detail at the front. There will be a fold on the center front here. Now you know how to make a pattern for this amazing dress. Next time, we'll continue working with it. I work really hard to help you be different and beautiful. I hope that you find my tutorials useful. Don't be afraid of experiments. And remember that practice makes perfect. That's all for today. Be different and beautiful. Subscribe to my channel, write comments, share the videos, press the like and the bell buttons. I would really appreciate your support. Thank you. Goodbye.